Hello and welcome to this sacred space. In today's reading, you will receive a message about what is about to change for you in your life. And Ma Kali, who's with me for this reading, is giving me a timeline for this. So she's saying something about June. So something in this time frame of now, when this video comes out, to June is important for this change. And it will manifest differently, but it sort of reaches its culmination in June. Or moving into Cancer season more so. And she has told me to say to you to have realistic expectations when it comes to this. Have realistic expectations. And what she's also asking of you is to do your part, do your work, because this is part divine and part you doing your work. And without your work and without your willingness to surrender, she's doing this. Nothing will happen, or it will not happen at the same capacity or at the speed that you would like, or not as smoothly. You will experience it more roughly. So it is also down to you. So if you are ready for this message of yours, we have 4 piles today. 4. If you want to skip ahead to your message, you can choose from the timestamps in the description box down below. And if you would like to, you can be with me for the intention setting that I will begin now. You choose. Okay, so we have Ma Kali here. This is supposed to be lighthearted as well, is what she's saying. So I'm connecting in. Connecting into my sacred self and the wisdom of my sacred self through all existing lifetimes, both the past, the present, and the future coming together in this now moment. Connecting deeper into Ma Kali, my beloved mother, her divine essence. Asking her to channel her energies, her essence through me as a channel, as a vessel. Connecting into my spirit guides, calling forth Gere and Freke to guard and protect this sacred space, and to only allow in those energies that Ma Kali deem fit. Calling forth Hugin and Munin to act as messengers between the spirit guides of this community and Ma Kali. I'm raising and activating my inner fire in order to ignite your flame and your passion for you to change your life circumstances to the better. I set the intention that I give you clarity and wisdom through these messages, and that I channel these messages in a clear, concise, compassionate, and impactful way. I pray that these messages will be for the highest good of all beings and the earth in its entirety. Let it be so. Tack så mycket. Let's begin the readings. Message number 1. Welcome to your reading. Today we are working with the Ritual Tarot. Kali is a bit playful and witty today, so it's not anything too serious. So I'm guessing that this is a change that you sort of want, You sort of want it. But because it's Kali, we are also dissolving our ego. So it's still a bit challenging. Anyhow, let's begin the message. So, what is the change that will happen to this group these next coming months? So you had the Magician in reverse. And at the bottom you had the Queen of Wands in reverse. Untapped energy, untapped potential. That is what we are to change here for you. Or that is what you are to change. Remembering what we spoke about in the beginning here. I'm just noticing some things in the card imagery here that I'm feeling into. So this has to do with gifts or abilities. They can lean into spiritual things, but it is more so using your innate talents and gifts that you have been blessed with as a human, that has been perhaps taught to you at a young age. Perhaps you've had parents with similar talents and gifts. So what sort of talent or gift are we speaking about here? Because I can feel that this is something specific. Six of Wands in reverse. So this is a sort of, you could call it a manifestation talent or something equal to that. The ability to set goals and to work for them until you reached success. There is blockage there in your experience with this, and you might think, what? Me? No. Or you might recognize yourself in this, that you have this sort of gift or talent. Whatever the case here, this is what is about to change, or being initiated to change, something that you will need to work on, but it will be supported right now. So I'm affirming this again, setting a goal, and not a small goal, but a quite lofty goal, and then taking the steps necessary to achieve that goal and reach success. So we will give you an affirmation to have with you during this process, during this change from my Kali. I'm working with the Kali Oracle Pocket Edition here. So do you have any words of affirmation or encouragement? Dakshina Kali. She appears fierce, and yet she is benign. Her oracle brings the message that a situation which may frighten or intimidate you is well within your capacity to handle. No matter how dramatic or intense a situation may appear to be at this time, it shall eventually be little more than a passing memory and not have any negative bearing upon your future. So whenever I receive this card, I do have a situation in my circumstance that feels a bit intimidating. And so I'm working up all these issues and scenarios in my mind. and it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. But when I've actually dealt with these things, it has been like smooth sailing. It has proven to be not that hard at all. So this is what this oracle card is saying. So it is well within your capacity to do this, and perhaps you already have a specific goal in mind, and if that's the case, it is well within your capacity to reach this specific goal as well. So both applies. And Ma Kali is saying that is all for today's reading. Thank you for connecting in, and I hope to see you next time. Bye. Message number 2. This is about something romantic. How exciting. How exciting. And ooh, it's not just about anything in a romantic relationship. This is specifically about eroticism and the sexual experience that you can have with another being. Oh, how exciting. So today we are working with the Ritual Tarot. Let's see. Since we have a little bit of background information now, I'm just going to tap into the question that I'm supposed to ask. So, what is it about eroticism and your sexual energy or sexual chemistry to another human being that will change during this time, or will be initiated into change during this time, meaning that you will have to do your part? Okay, so we do have, Knight of Pentacles in reverse. This represents you. And I haven't worked with this deck for a while now, so I'm forgetting the cards. 10 of Wands in reverse for this partner or other being. And this does not have to mean that you are currently in a relationship, but when you are connecting with another human being romantically. So this is representing that other part in relationship in relation to you. Okay. So at the bottom we have 9 of Pentacles in reverse. Yes. A lot of reversals. So you are treading quite carefully here with the Knight of Pentacles. And I feel Kali coming in here, wanting to disrupt the reading a bit and say something. So I'm just going to tap in. I'm actually going to pull a card from the Kali Oracle Pocket Edition. What is it that you would like to say, Ma Kali, about the connection between you and a romantic partner, a lover? Can even be a best friend. Chamunda, a best friend also being a lover. Never mind. Chamunda. Knowing what to allow and what to fight for or against requires wisdom. Chamunda is the fearlessness, wisdom, patience, and discipline required to conquer a difficult situation. Chamunda is the power to accomplish what you need and desire. She's with you now. Her presence now portends a truly exceptional breakthrough on your path. So whenever I receive this card, I'm engaging in something that is disruptive and destructive for my health and well-being. So what I do feel here is a pattern of emotional codependency that might be expressed through sexual acts. And what wants to be changed, the change that is being initiated here, is becoming free of that attachment, meaning that the sexual act is free in itself, which will give you more pleasure. It's not a contract in that you are obliged to do something to keep the other person satisfied, or essentially perhaps you might be giving yourself away a little bit too much in order to keep that other being happy and satisfied emotionally. And this could also be an issue that this other person that you're engaging with is having, so that they are using sex as an emotional instrument, you could say, and not even necessarily consciously, but perhaps more so, you could say, instinctual, or it's fear-based. It's a way to cope with feelings of detachment and loneliness and abandonment. And so their desire to have your body, to have you near, and to have a bit of your essence through exchanging body fluids and things like that. I completely lost my train of thought there. That is a way for them to fill a void, but it isn't really entirely working. So your job in this situation is to not engage in that destructive behavior. Do not give them that. Give yourself authentically, is what I'm hearing. So the Ten of Wands in reverse is this person reaching an edge. It's almost like you need to push through to an edge with this behavior for this person. Or you don't need to, it's not your job, but if you want to engage with this person, if you want to have a connection with this person, it's important to separate yourself from this unhealthy pattern and not engage in it yourself and become part of that. You are supposed to be independent in this connection and see to your own pleasures and what gives you joy and ecstatic experiences. We are ending with another card from Cal Oracle Pocket Edition. So do you have any words of affirmation or support during this change, during this process? Trauma Nagmo. The spiritual cleansing and protective means necessary to overcome any obstacle shall be granted to you. You can trust in what is happening in your life, especially the things that are breaking apart or arising anew. Any pain that you might be experiencing now is so much less than the pain that would have taken root if certain circumstances were allowed to continue. It is clear. So perhaps you have some baggage with you as well when it comes to this of being codependent emotionally and connecting that to sexual acts. Perhaps you have worked your way through that to some extent. It's important to stand your ground with this and to respect and honor your body, your needs, and your sexual energy. And if it becomes disruptive and chaotic, it only means that it's about to change. This person reaching the dead end with this behavior and this pattern. And Kali is saying that that is all for this reading. What a powerful one. I thank you so much for connecting in, and I do hope to see you next time. Bye. Message number 3. There is a very happy, blissful, and carefree energy around this reading. And I'm feeling Ma Kali coming through here. And we are going to begin with a message from the Kali Oracle Pocket Edition. Let's see what she has to say. She has a very specific message to you. My brave souls is what she's saying. Oh, Mantra Shakti. Do not allow negative thought or speech to undermine your inner spiritual connection. Claim your voice and your power to express yourself from your heart. Though it may not yet be visible in your physical world, a new order is generating within the soul, and in time it shall manifest in a transformation that heals your inner world and improves your physical life circumstances too. So what you might be experiencing is being quite far off from being joyful, carefree, and happy. Perhaps you are really moving through the trenches right now, finding it hard to be positive, grateful, calm, peaceful. Perhaps you have been moving through something for quite some time, or it is very recent and very sore and raw. So what is it that will change for this group for the next upcoming months? Happiness. Happiness. I'm working with the Ritual Tarot here. So you received the Knight of Pentacles in reverse and the Two of Swords. This is about protecting yourself, protecting your emotions, protecting your heart. Let's take a look at the bottom also. King of Swords in reverse. So what I'm sensing or being given is some sort of mental challenge, or it's being expressed mentally to at least some degree. And it's weakening your position in life, in that you're not quite recovering. You are recessing into something dark and depression-like or anxiety-inducing. So what is changing? I do feel quite a lot of stuck energy here, because we have this slow-moving knight, the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, and the Two of Wands. There's stuckness. So what will happen for you is you will reach a point where you need to choose, essentially. And what I do feel that this choice is not driven necessarily by external circumstances in the way that you are being presented with two choices. Perhaps there are outer circumstances influencing you, but this choice is driven by an energy of being fed up with where you're currently at and feeling like you're not moving or progressing, or perhaps even feeling any better. It's just being sick of it and making a choice to do something, anything, to change how you're feeling, how you're experiencing this life. And so what will happen then, if you do choose to rise up, to fight, to change, is that you will find and cultivate that inner fire and strength and warrior archetype to move you through these challenges. And it's almost like whatever you have been going through, let's say you have been going through a lot of changes externally that have been very difficult to handle. It's almost like it is festering in the mind. And there is a prolonged period of, even after the circumstances have improved, it got stuck in your thought processes or your mind, your way of thinking or seeing life. Like it really knocked you down here, is the feeling that I'm getting. And there's a few people in here who won't recognize themselves in that specific description. Just to confirm. So what I will give to you is an affirmation and some words of a message of support from the Kali Oracle Pocket Edition to aid you during this phase, especially until you come to that point where you want to change. So, what is a message from you, Ma Kali? Chamunda. Knowing what to allow and what to fight for or against requires wisdom. Chamunda is the fearlessness, wisdom, patience, and discipline required to conquer a difficult situation. Chamunda is the power to accomplish what you need and desire. She is with you now. Her presence now portends a truly exceptional breakthrough on your path. In the original size edition, this deck, this card also speaks about overcoming an issue for good. So when you get through this, when you fight through this, you will find the fire and the capacity to rise up again, which you will bring with you throughout the entirety of your life. But this card is also speaking about when we are engaging in things that are unhealthy for us, that are destructive for us, that are not good for us. So it's also a message about trying to break your thought patterns. Very, very important. And I heard something go off in my kitchen right now as a confirmation. Try to break your thought patterns. Do not dig yourself into a hole that is deeper than needs to be. Do not sink lower than you are. I'm finding it hard to express exactly what it is that is trying to be said here. But it's like, do not drag yourself down. Do not drag yourself down is her message. And she stands by your side. And listen. Her presence now portends a truly exceptional breakthrough on your path. So it is there, it is visible. It is possible on your path. And she's saying that that is all for today's message. I thank you so much for connecting in, and I do hope to see you next time. Bye. Message number 4. I receive a lot of visions and dreams connecting into your pile, your message. And I'm seeing this vision board or goal setting. So it's a bit similar to the first pile in that sense. So perhaps you feel connected to that too. Or first message. First message. Let's see here. We are beginning with the Ritual Tarot. And I'm hearing Makali saying that anything is possible. Anything is possible when you are dreaming. Isn't that interesting? When we are dreaming, we can use our imagination to dream about anything. Anything. And we don't have to restrict ourselves in that dreaming space, creating visions for ourselves. Never stop dreaming. Never stop creating. There's like this unrelentless force here to create, to build, to dream, to see what you can do and achieve next. So what is it that will change for you the next upcoming months? Swords energy galore. So we have the Princess of Swords in reverse. I'm using the Ritual Tarot today. I think this is the Nine of Swords. Gosh, I haven't worked with this deck enough. Page of Swords in reverse and Nine of Swords. Or in this deck, it's Princess of Swords. And then we have, is this the Seven of Wands? Yeah, Seven of Wands at the bottom. I'm feeling something here. So there's almost an experience of things, energies, people interfering with your dreams, with your goals and what you're trying to create. That could take many forms, many expressions. but it's like outer circumstances, people, environment getting sort of in the way for your plans. And so that has let me be really connected now, because I feel like there's something really, really specific wanting to come forth. So you having to fight for your dreams, you having to fight for your goals, could be something that you experience as something negative. And something that is draining your energy or drowning your creativity, or doing so that you don't dream that big any longer. Feeling that you have allowed people to put you down or something like that. So, but what I'm actually being told here is that you fighting for what you want is strengthening your capacity. So the purpose here, I'm closing my eyes because I really need to concentrate here on the message. The purpose was you strengthening your capacity to create what you want, to build, to be relentless and fearless and ferocious in your pursuits, in your ambitions, almost like bulldozing your way forward. So this has built character. But now, perhaps you have fought so much that you're beginning to get a bit tired or worn down. And so perhaps you have noticing some negative side effects of that fighting, in that flame sort of being a bit put out. That was never the intention. That was never the intention. So what you will need to do now is to build back that faith, that hope, and that fire and that passion that you began with, that you started out with before you were beaten down. And when you have done that, your capacity for transforming your life, your experience, what you get out of life will be wow. It will be astonishing. So you will receive a message from my Kali. This is the Kali Oracle Pocket Edition, as a sort of affirmation and encouragement, message of support on how you can make that switch now. Because now it's about climbing down that mountain that you have defended so hard, and start to shift into that joy again, but still keeping that capacity for action and fight and striving for ambition. So some words of affirmation for that. Khadga. A predestined series of events is due to occur according to divine timing. This has been orchestrated at a higher level to integrate the paths of people with whom you have soul contracts in this lifetime. Trust in the doors that close just as much as in the doors that open for you as a result. So what I will say here, and listen to your own intuition here as well. Don't just trust what I'm saying here. But what I'm saying here is that whenever you are coming into this fight position again, you're not supposed to stay there now. You're not supposed to be there now. So whenever you're coming up against that, that can be a sure sign that you're in the wrong place, with the wrong people, because that's not what your experience is supposed to be about right now. It's being orchestrated so that the right people, the right places, the right circumstances will come into your life path now. It's a switch. It's a change, and it might be a bit uncomfortable in the beginning if you are that used to fighting. Trust me, I know. It might be a bit uncomfortable because you still have that fight in you. But what you need to do is to more so lean back, observe, allow in the good things, and observe when things are going sour and things are going bad, and detach instead of fighting. Moving on. Smooth sailing. And Mark Halley is saying that is all for this reading. Thank you so very much for tuning in, for connecting in, and I do hope to see you next time. Bye.